Hi, Theo.
Hi!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dimension Bros. We're having a little blast to the past today.
I know, we're doing things old school. If you're new to our channel, you might not know this, but there was a time in which all of our videos had both of us on a Zoom call talking about something, and we stopped doing that because of the horrible quality that doing, like, video calls for videos brings, because, like, I'm using my laptop instead of my desktop because my desktop doesn't have a webcam. So already there's that. Like, Isaac sounds horrible, I sound horrible, we both look horrible. We're doing a Skype call today instead of a Zoom call, but like, yeah, this is what every Dimension Bros videos used to be like. And we're doing it because we're talking about the very thing that started our channel, Poptropica, and its demise.
Yay!
So if you're a new fan who just happened to see this video and be like, I remember Poptropica, and you're so confused, you're like, what? Is Poptropica okay? The answer is no, and here is a brief explanation why.
Previously on Poptropica. In 2017, Adobe announced that Flash would be shutting down at the end of the year 2020, meaning that since Poptropica was a Flash game, they would have to convert everything to a new engine. The engine they chose was HTML5, or Haxe. However, from 2017 to 2020, the Flash version of Poptropica was still running. Around late 2019-2020, they started taking a bunch of the old islands off the Flash version of the game. The reasoning they gave was because of the Flash islands were so old, the servers couldn't handle having that many players on. So, whenever someone logged on to Poptropica, they would find most of the old islands to be missing, with the only way to access them being either to buy a membership or use a backdoor method called the Old Island Directory. But then, at the end of 2020, the Flash version of Poptropica shut down for good, and the entire game was hosted on Haxe now, with all the accounts being transferred over, so your old account will still work. Now, since Adobe announced the death of Flash over 3 years in advance, you would think that in that time the Poptropica team would have converted all the old islands over to Haxe. However, you would be wrong. This brings us to present day of April 2021, where Poptropica now has a whopping total of only 5 islands and 3 episodic islands with only the first episodes of them out. That still leaves over 40 islands currently not in the game. However, some of these missing islands are still playable with the Flashpoint archive, and there will be links in the description on how to continue playing Poptropica.
So, now that you're all caught up with what's happening with Poptropica, let's shit on it.
Okay, Theo, where shall we start? There's a lot to go over.
I think the biggest problem, and the thing that I highlighted in our little segment, is that over 40 islands are not in the game.
Yeah, that's not exactly ideal for a game that's all about exploration.
Because the question is Poptropica dead? And, like, if we were to just look at today, the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a game that exists. You go on and there's, like, 5 complete islands. Only 5 complete islands. There's 3 part 1s, which is not a whole island. So there are 5 islands.
Yeah, it's kind of off-putting, especially like if a new person joined.
Yeah.
They'd be bored very quickly.
It's not even about, like, older fans being upset. There's, like, all their islands are gone. It's like, if any new person were to join this, there would just be, like, so much overload on the home island, and then nothing to do after that.
Right. Yeah, because you used to be able to, like, go on Poptropica, sit down and play for, like, 4 hours straight.
And now if you were to do that, you would have played the entire game, and you would never need to touch it again.
Speedrun.
Oh my god. Honestly, one of us should do that. We should sit down and see how long it takes to play every island that's on the Haxe version. It would be like, you could do it in one stream. Especially if we had, like, a walkthrough pulled up for, like, some of the... Mostly for Escape from Pelican Rock, all the islands on there are really easy, too.
Yeah.
So, the question is, so currently, yes, Poptropica's kind of dead. The game itself, the community, we're doing great. We're fine. We're loving it. But the game itself is in a horrible, horrible place.
And part of that is because of just, like, the Poptropica creators have been misusing their time a lot.
3 years. Since 2017, they had, okay, we have a 3-year heads up. Actually, if it was the start of 2017, they would have had a 4-year heads up.
Mm-hmm.
So, all that time, you gave us 5 islands. Like,
Yeah.
Fairy Tale Island, the Dream Island contest happened only a few months ago, and we're already getting Fairy Tale Island. Clearly, it is not a lot of work. Fairy Tale Island is entirely new assets, an entirely new story, and they've been able to do that in, like, what, 3 months?
Well, supposedly Fairy Tale Island isn't completely new assets from the promotional images we've seen.
Oh. Okay, but what I'm saying is they've been able to produce an entire island in 3 months. So clearly they were not spending those 4 years laboring over those 5 islands.
Yeah.
Clearly, it does not take much to put an island on Poptropica if they were able to get out Fairy Tale Island so quickly.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know, there's a new island coming out tomorrow after the day this is uploaded called Fairy Tale Island. It was a Dream Island winner, so someone submitted their idea, they're making it, blah, blah, blah.
They could not have chose a worse time for them to release a new island.
I know. We will be posting a review on Fairy Tale Island, and on my personal channel, I'll be streaming me playing it for the first time. But, like, really, like, the day that we sit down to make a video about Poptropica and the current state of the game, they're like, let's release new stuff the day after.
Right. We were not particularly pleased about that, but, you know, that's the
But
biz.
how do we think Fairy Tale Island's gonna go? Like,
predictions?
like, on, like, the quality of it.
I think it will be bad.
Yeah.
I think it'll be very clearly rushed. I think my biggest fear is it'll be really short, which, like, short islands aren't necessarily bad. My favorite island's one of the shortest, but...
Yeah. I mostly just feel bad for the person who made it if it's bad.
Right, I think...
Like, if that's your idea for an island and they just completely ruin it by rushing it or, like you said,
right.
reuse assets, although they do that all the time, so...
I think it'd be really funny if they release this and it, like, utterly fails, and then the other people who won the Dream Island contest was like, we don't want our islands made anymore.
Like, pull it out! I feel like if it fails, the other winners are just gonna be like, no, because it's just, like, this looming fear of mine's gonna be terrible, too, so, like...
Right, because presumably that's another, like, 3 months away they have to wait for theirs.
I know, and I think, honestly, I'm kind of glad Fairy Tale Island's coming out now because it just shows us, like, how utterly minimal effort they're putting into porting over the old islands, which I do not understand. If you have over 50 islands that people love, and you just are like, no, we're not going to put them in the game. The thing that people actually like our game for, we just won't add it. That makes no sense to me. Like, we did a poll, and we'll be kind of going over this poll. We'll just be, like, bringing it up when it's relevant. But, like, 80% of people said that if the old islands were back, they would be playing more Poptropica. 80% of people. Whereas, like, I think it was, like, 75% said that if there were new islands, like, original islands, like Fairy Tale Island, they would play again. And it was, like, 10% who said if new Home Island stuff happened.
Oh, the Home Island.
They have just been pouring everything they have into the Home Island.
Yeah.
Like, if you, like, Poptropica at its peak, when Poptropica was, like, selling merch in the, like, toy aisle of Walmart at its very peak, Home Island wasn't a thing.
Yeah, it just did not exist.
I don't understand why you're pouring so much into Home Island when it was never what made Poptropica good.
Right.
Like, I kind of like it as a concept, as, like, a hub for all the shops. So, like, all the shops, that's fine. I do not understand its existence.
Right, it was fine the first 3 times.
I know. Like, they just keep updating it.
And, like, when they change it for, like, winter, that's one thing, because it's a fun cosmetic change, but literally, like, every other month, they've been completely altering its layout and everything.
I know. It's so ridiculous. And also really alienating to old players coming back, seeing just, like, this giant hub. Like, at first, when I came back to Poptropica and there was a Home Island, I was like, this is new, but, like, it's just a shop hub. But, like, now if I were to return to Poptropica, when you go onto Home Island, someone bursts in, steals a statue, and you're brought up a pop-up to do a side quest, with the only choice being accept. It says side quest, get the statue back, options, accept, and there's no deny. So it's not a side quest. If you're forced to do it, it's not a side quest. That is so, like, it's so alienating to anyone coming back to the game now.
Imagine a new player being like, I really liked what's a good island.
Astronauts.
I really like Astronauts from that old Poptropica game. They get on, they're forced to do a mini quest, then after doing
They're
it,
also
like,
supposed to do the monkey wrench.
oh,
You're also
right,
forced to do that when you first make a new account, unless they remember their account. Oh, sorry.
right. Until they finally finish both those things, they're like, finally, I can play Astronauts, go to the map, and it's just not
And it's
there.
just gone. And they're like, oh, well, Mythology. I really liked Mythology. Let me go play Mythology. Oh, wait, why have they cut out half the island and made
Right.
it significantly easier, even though it was never a difficult island?
Why
did
is
they do that?
Mythology objectively worse now?
They just literally remove things from Mythology. I asked about the Mythology port, and most people said that they just didn't care. They didn't have any strong feelings about it, which, like, kind of same. But, like, not a lot of people, a majority of people did not select the I love the Mythology port option, and that's all I'm going to say.
Well, obviously, because they literally took a really good island, they removed, like, most of the plot from it, and then just made it, like, very, like, railroady.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was very odd, because Poptropica, for the most part, isn't really a railroad game. I don't know.
What do you mean? Railroad is in, like, just straight? Like, you know exactly what you're doing all the time?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess to some degree it depends on the island, but for the most part, Poptropica is about exploration, and they took that all out of the Mythology
It's
port.
a linear story, but you're supposed to explore to discover where that line is going.
Right.
Like, you shouldn't always know exactly what you're going to do next. Like, there should always be, even if it's, like, just for, like, a second, you're like, wait, what do I do now? Oh, wait, I remember this thing I saw from earlier. There should at least be a moment of that. But, like, if you can predict the next 5 steps you have to take in the story.
That's how I feel like Fairy Tale Island's going to be. I feel like if it's any good at all, it's just very much going to be, okay, go find this now. Here's where it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Although, it could come out tomorrow and we're just completely blown out of the water. Like,
I'd be very impressed if that happens.
I know. So come to my stream on my YouTube channel if you want to see me live react to it.
I'll be in chat.
Isaac's a mod in chat, so he'll ban you if you say anything.
If you speak, ban.
It's an Isaac only chat.
True. Anyway, where were we?
A Mythology port.
Right. It's awful.
So we're like asking, we are begging, we are on our knees begging, give us the old islands, and they're like,
which
it's like, Poptropica, can we have old islands? We have old islands at home. The old islands at home.
Which, like, the Dream Island contest wasn't bad. It's mostly the home islands that is, like, disgusting.
Yeah, the Dream Island contest, they obviously did it because fans wanted it, and then they did it, which I think that's great. And, like, I'm happy that it happened, and a lot of people were excited about it. And if Fairy Tale Island comes out and it's, like, a good island, then I'll be like, great. Everyone's happy. But why are you adding so much to Home Island?
Okay, here's my thing with the Dream Island contest, right? We know people who participated in it, and we saw that they wrote essays about these islands. Like, so you have to assume that whatever the 3 winners wrote had to be enough to make a good island.
Yeah, like, I'm not doubting. If they had picked any concept, like the Poptropica community, I feel like any of their islands would be good islands.
I mean, I'm guessing there are probably some children who submitted.
I mean, yeah, the 6-year-olds who entered, obviously, but, like, people whose islands I heard about and read about. So, like, clearly, hopefully, or maybe they did just pick, like, children's islands where they wrote, like, 3 sentences.
Right.
They could have purposely not picked the islands with well fleshed out stories for the sole purpose of just half-assing it.
Would be really sad because.
But wait, we obviously don't know that.
Right. We should probably stop talking about the Dream Island contest, seeing as we don't know what happens.
Yeah, we'll stop talking about it. We'll get more into it in our review next week. So that'll be coming up soon. But just, it's so upsetting to me, the fact that they had 3-4 years and they did nothing with it.
And they just, well, presumably they did something. I don't know what it was.
I mean, I guess no, sorry, I have hiccups. I guess getting, like, base stuff over, like, They obviously they did something because there's a Haxe version of Poptropica now, but like
Right.
honestly, anyone who's signing into poptropica.com, I don't know what they're doing.
Mhm.
Like when the Haxe version went in, I went in to just like react to it initially. I played Pelican Rock and I've not touched it since.
Yeah, there's not much to do anymore.
Especially because it saved all my progress. So I've never played the Mythology port. I've just watched stuff of it. But it
Uh-huh.
says I've completed Mythology. Like the progress bar is
Oh.
full. So it's not even like I have to rebeat it. Because so if you are an old player, your Flash account, it's completely all still there and all your progress is saved, which is cool.
Right. What was I gonna say? I really hope they don't treat other islands how they did Mythology, as they're slowly bringing them back.
I don't think they're going to bring them back. If they're going at the rate that they've been going, we're not getting the old islands back in completion until like 20 years from now.
Hey, I mean, maybe, but you know what island we're 100% not getting back?
Oh, are you going to go on your little Mocktropica rant?
It's so sad because Mocktropica is a fantastic island.
Yeah, and it's like now everything that they were making fun of in Mocktropica just exists in Poptropica.
Everyone, stop listening to our fun dialogue and just look at Theo's pajama pants.
Yes. You have matching ones.
I do.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
I'm on my floor because I'm on my laptop and I'm
you are currently sitting on the card table I use to play board games.
Great. Anyway, Mocktropica
is never coming back because at this point it's no longer ironic.
It's just stating facts of what Poptropica is.
What they should do is change it so instead of fighting the mighty action, or what's the bad guys called?
The bots. The mega fighting bots.
Yeah, something like that. They should just switch it out with cool math games since they're the ones who bought Poptropica.
Yeah.
Cool math games bought Poptropica.
I don't think that's ever happened before where like a brand makes fun of something and then becomes that thing. When has that happened?
Like pop-up ads, achievements, all got added.
All got added. Literally, oh my god, that like blew my mind when I loaded up into Poptropica today and I just saw a side quest. A non-optional side quest. A non-optional side quest which defeats the whole purpose of a side quest. A side quest exists for you to do optionally, to just beef out your gameplay. But it wasn't a side quest, it was just a main quest. Something got stolen off of Home Island. That's not like an optional thing. And I'll probably never get it back because I'll probably never load into the... Well, no, I will because I'll have to play Fairy Tale Island.
Your stream's gonna start with you getting the statue back.
I know, I have to do Well, it let me go to the map. Like, Amelia was like, get the statue back, and I just went in my blimp. And I just left her.
Power move.
I was just like, bye, Amelia. Sounds like that's rough for you.
That's rough, buddy.
That's rough, buddy. Amelia's like, help! And I'm just like, I gotta go count islands.
Gotta go count. Interesting. Yeah, that's not a side quest, and it takes away from the whole point of Poptropica that you can do whatever you want when you want.
It also takes away from the purpose of Home Island. Home Island's supposed to be your safe space, your hub. It's not supposed to be a place that bandits show up and steal things.
I mean,
it's horrible. Imagine if, okay, let me think. Imagine you load into Pokemon and it's Pallet Town. And all of a sudden, Team Rocket just starts stealing everything. Like, the second you load in, and it's like side quest to beat Team Rocket, and you're like, that's clearly not a side quest.
You, like, open Minecraft, don't even hit, like, play, and all of a sudden the Wither just appears. You're not
like, you go into a Minecraft server, and you go into the hub, but the hub is just PvP. Like, you load into a server, there's no, like, load PvP zone. Like, everyone's just beating each other. It's like that. Like, you're just thrown in. Like, there's no, like, you log in and then all of a sudden people are stealing things from you. It was horrible.
I did not...
I'm really upset about this side quest. This has ruined me.
I tried to load up earlier to see what Theo was talking about, and it wouldn't let me, which, was a whole other problem that I physically can't play the game.
Yeah, well, that's just because your computer's bad.
That's true. Theo.
Yeah.
Okay, so about the death of Poptropica and Islands as a whole, do you think, A, Thinknoodles will make a video, and B, will it bring some people back?
Maybe. I think if they see there's a new island, maybe. And I'm hoping those new people come to our channel and they subscribe because we do make Poptropica content way more regularly than Thinknoodles.
True.
Don't mean to antagonize Thinknoodles. Seems like a nice guy.
He does. He responded to Theo's tweets sometimes.
My angry rabid tweet.
He also responded to tweets about the Poptropica Dating Sim, so
he might play that.
That's true. That'd be amazing.
That would be incredible if he played the Poptropica Dating Sim.
But yeah, all we have to do is tweet at him, "Hey, there's a new island," and he'll make a video on it.
Yeah. Yeah. But we wait until our fairy tale video is out so that when his fairy tale video goes up, ours is in the recommended.
Power move.
We're gonna steal Thinknoodles subs.
Good. Steal. Do we want his? I don't even know what he does anymore.
I think he does Roblox and Minecraft now.
Oh god.
He's on some Minecraft SMP because he tweets about going live with it a lot.
Everyone's on a Minecraft SMP.
I know. We should make a Minecraft SMP.
We should.
Except for you don't have Java Minecraft. So.
Shut up. Why are we talking about Minecraft? This is about Poptropica.
I know. Okay, well, I'm actually going to use Minecraft as an example. So, Minecraft, they're doing the cave update, but recently they've been having technical issues with the cave update, and their staff have been overworking to cram it out. So they've decided, hey, we're going to take a break and we're going to split the update into two. And so they made a video, and Agnes, our queen Agnes, game director of Minecraft, was like, hey, we need more time to make this a good update. And they were very transparent. They were very transparent about their reasons why. They explained fully why it was happening. And then we have the Poptropica creators who can't even write their own blog posts.
Just lie.
We don't know why the old islands aren't on Haxe, by the way. They have never explained why they're not on Haxe. They have given us zero explanation on why they have not been able to convert all of them to Haxe.
Also, the Poptropica creators like to do this fun little quirky thing called lying. Just on their blog, just stating things that just are not true.
Which,
for example,
that isn't a good look for Pearson education, by the way. I'm just saying. Not to make things legal. For legal reasons, that's a joke.
For example, during the Dream Island contest, well, after it, they're like, we're going to announce some runner-ups as well. It's been a few months.
They've announced a runner-up. Runner-up.
No, did they?
Goofball.
No, Goofball Island was another of the winners, wasn't it?
No, they're announcing multiple winners, but they only ever announced 2 winners. And after Goofball Island, they said we're going to announce more winners, and they never have.
Oh, God. No, because they announced the one that here, hang on. You're wrong, because I know that they announced one about Egyptian mythology.
What?
Because the PHB got an interview with the person who.
Oh, someone read the Kane Chronicles and got ideas.
Someone read the Kane Chronicles and got ideas.
Probably. Okay, well, anyway, they have said that they're announcing more Dream Island winners, and they just haven't.
Right. So.
I just need to feel something. Oh my god. So yeah, the Poptropica creators are just not very transparent at all.
No, and it's becoming increasingly an issue.
The original reason we learned why the old islands got taken off of Flash is after I emailed them. I had to email them and pry a response from them, and that's when they explained it's because the servers couldn't handle that many people because they're so old. Which, again, that is a totally valid reason to take them off of Flash. Why was that not in the blog post? They just disappeared one day with no explanation, and it wasn't until I went out of my way to email them that we got a response. Like, you can just update us on your blog. Like, we're not going to be mad if there are actual issues preventing you from giving us the old islands. If there's, like, some technical issues going on, just tell us, and we'll be like, cool, great, we'll stop, like, bitching about you all the time.
By the way, if you want to keep updated when Theo angrily emails Poptropica, subscribe, because we did a video around that.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That video still gets views. It gets a lot of views.
Does it still get views?
Yeah, it still gets, like, comments of people being like, oh, I've returned to Poptropica, which is why in this video I included that little blurb explaining what's happening with Poptropica.
We are so popular.
We are. We're famous. We're just so famous. Us and our 300 and whatever subscribers.
300 and something.
Yeah.
Us and our 69 poll responders.
Oh, yes, and our poll responders. We got 69 responses. Actually, do we want to read? Oh my god, do not fall.
That was terrifying.
Your life flashed before your eyes.
It was very sad.
Do we want to read some of our responses to the poll? So we did a poll about the current state of the game and got some, like, just a general, like, consensus of where the community's at. And if you're wondering where the community's at, they don't want home island updates. They want the old islands. Basically. Well, so, and then we also left a box for people to just write whatever they wanted about the state of the game. So that's what we're going to read through now. If you want the full, like, results from the poll, I'll have, like, a link to, like, a doc or something where I've put all the results.
Right. Are you going to open the doc so you can see the responses?
No, I'm just going to let you read them to me.
Yes, let's have the probably dyslexic Isaac read paragraphs of...
Oh boy. Isaac picked these out, so I don't know which responses he picked out. I know some of them, but...
Right, also disclaimer, I might not actually be dyslexic. I'm undiagnosed. Okay.
It's not canon yet.
No, it's not canon. First one. Oh, this was why I went, wait, stop. The new and improved home islands are great. I love the design, the new store is cute, and it feels like a wonderful opening to new players. But it's just that. Its only appearance with almost no substantial value to it. While I appreciate the change, the very essence of Poptropica, the game I love, is about adventuring discoveries and solving problems and stories. The islands. Heck, that's the reason new Poptropica was able to live without home island for 7 years.
Exactly. Exactly.
I disagree with the new and improved home island being great.
Oh, I mean, yeah, obviously, but, like...
It looks nice, I guess.
Like, the first iteration of home island was fine. A shop hub with a cute airplane girl, I'm down for. I'm here for. Give it to me. That's great. A welcome change. But again, logging on to Poptropica just to be bombarded with a cutscene of someone stealing a statue that I didn't even know was there. Didn't even know we had statues now, and all of a sudden one of them's gone.
Was Amelia on the list? The top 10 list?
Amelia was on the top 10 list.
What I thought.
Of course she was.
I card to that somewhere. Okay. It is great that they are able to figure out a way to make Poptropica still available post-Flash, but Haxe is full of bugs and lags. I hope they focus more on giving players a favorable experience if they want more people to play their game. They should focus more on bringing back islands, the very backbone of our game, because now I just play the game for a few minutes and then leave because I have absolutely nothing to do with it now.
Speaking of Haxe sucking,
the
loading screens are so low res and for no reason.
Right.
Like, it looks like they've taken screenshots. One of them even just has a white line on the side. Literally what happens when you take a screenshot and don't crop it properly. The loading screens are literal screenshots that they took off their, like they're not even cropped properly.
Oh, Theo, this next one has a like really important thing that we just forgot to mention.
Oh.
Please stop giving these advertisement islands. Nobody likes them, and they're a waste of everyone's time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Camp Coral.
Oh yeah, and that American Girl doll island.
Mm-hmm.
Like that other island that I can't even remember. Like, they just keep doing ad islands. I'm assuming I guess they're clearly making some money off of it. but like it can't be that much to warrant like just abandoning your game.
Right.
Because again, here's what people don't seem to realize. Poptropica is just owned by Pearson Education. They're not like these like indie game developers and Poptropica is their passion. They just work for Pearson. Like my mom, whenever my mom watched our videos of us being like Poptropica creators suck, she's like, that's so mean. And I was like, and then once I mentioned they were owned by Pearson, she's like, wait, these aren't just like game developers in their garage. And I'm like, no, these are people working at Pearson Education, the giant company. And she's just like, oh, shit on them as much as you want. Those weren't her exact words. She's gonna not like me making her swear, but yeah, Poptropica, it's not these like humble game developers from humble origins. They just work at Pearson and have a computer science degree, probably.
Right. I just realized there's a wine bottle behind me.
I know. I was like, what? Does that have like fairy lights in it?
Yeah.
Oh my god, your mom bought that and like probably thought it was the cutest thing ever created, didn't she?
Well, yeah. The daily spinning wheel should be brought back. There are barely any ways to collect credits now. Also, the new store sucks. There are barely any powers or miscellaneous things. Now we just have more focus on the costumes and gear for pets. Hoping the creators listen. Me too.
The store thing, I get why some people are upset. Me personally, I only ever cared about the costumes, but like if you love the miscellaneous and powers, then like yeah, that sucks. And also, the reason it's so hard to get credits is because there's no islands to beat.
True.
So like yeah, the daily spin wheel is fun, but like, you know, the best way to be able to get credits again would just be to have a game to play.
Whoa. Or, you know, write blog posts for them to get paid like 10 credits.
I know. They pay blog. Oh my god. We're not even talking about that. We're not even going to talk about that.
We have videos about that.
I'm going to burst a blood vessel.
If the Poptropica creators can actually add the old islands to Haxe and then add the contest winner islands, Poptropica might be able to come back. If not, then Poptropica is doomed.
I think Poptropica is doomed anyway. That was a question we asked, and like saying like Poptropica, will it ever return to its former glory? A few people said yes, it's already at its former glory, which you're just objectively wrong. Like you're just incorrect. Like no Poptropica toys being sold in Target. I don't see them.
On the Poptropica help chat, and I'm going to be very careful because I know the people who I'm about to talk about are going to watch this video. But a lot of people were saying that they think current Poptropica is the best version of Poptropica.
They think Haxe version with its 5 islands is somehow superior to like 2015 Poptropica with like over 50.
Right.
Like I cannot comprehend that.
Yeah.
If 2015 Poptropica had like home island as well as all the islands, then yeah, I would agree with that. Because again, home island is nice as a hub, but it's not like so necessary that you have to pour all of your resource and time into
all of them.
Like their top priority is clearly this home island.
The home island and the advertisement island, which by the way should be proof that Poptropica literally only exists to make money.
Yeah.
Like,
the fact that like the most consistent islands for like literally the past 4 years have been advertisements should like be so telling. Like Poptropica is just like Pearson's like little income booster that doesn't do much, but they just won't shut it down.
And I liked the old like advertisement mini games. Those were fun every once in a while.
But like you would do a little mini game and you'd get a follower.
Right. But now we're consistently only getting those.
Yeah.
And they're calling them islands. They're not full islands.
They're not full islands. They take up space on the map, but like they're not islands.
Literally, the entire idea of this thing is give out a limited time item, like attach a limited time item to it, so people will just every once in a while come on Poptropica because people aren't coming on Poptropica anymore.
Yeah.
So they're literally just giving like limited time items.
Yeah. I think more people said that they played Flashpoint than they did Haxe. Which should be very telling.
I can't access Flashpoint.
I know. That was one of the options on the poll because I knew so many people's computers just couldn't handle Flashpoint. That is the thing. If you are interested in using Flashpoint to access the old islands, you have to have a good PC. Because it's a lot. It's a lot.
Right.
And like you can't do it on Mac at all, I think. You can do like Flashpoint, but then there's like a whole another layer to get to Poptropica with Flashpoint.
Though I highly doubt that the current Poptropica will ever reach a state comparable to the glory days,
True.
I'm not going to be pessimistic, which is uncharacteristic of me, but still, something I'm willing to do. By the way, I'm gay. Wonder who put that.
I wonder, who do we know? Who would write that? We'll have to think about it.
Violently gay. But yeah, I agree that I don't think it's ever going to get back to the glory days. I do agree that I think it could get back to something that resembles an okay Flash game.
I think if they added the old islands back, people would just play it out of nostalgia.
Right.
Like, people would.
Which is how me and you got back into it.
Yeah. That's how so many people get back into it, is because of nostalgia. But now, luckily, we got back into it right as there were all the old islands. Like, I remember I got back into it right before they got rid of all the old islands on Flash. But, like, if someone were to be like, ooh, I want to check out Poptropica now, there'd be nothing there for them.
Can I tell a quick mini story?
Sure.
Okay. One day I was in class, and all of a sudden people just start talking about Poptropica, and this was only about 2 months ago, and they're like, I should go back to play that, and I'm like shaking because I know where people go when they come back to Poptropica, and I was terrified. No one said anything, so either they didn't end up going back or just happened to not stumble upon Dimension Bros. But that was terrifying.
You just hear the word Poptropica and you just go into fight or flight.
Right. Okay, next one. Poptropica has potential, even now. Considering it's been around for over a decade and survived the end of Flash, it's impressive that it's still around. It even outlasted Club Penguin, which was a much bigger game with more funding. Sure, Pop looks different now, but let's not be quick to dismiss it. There are good things happening and fans, new and old, enjoy the game. And that's pretty promising.
Yeah, I do want to make the point about Club Penguin. Like, Club Penguin was really big. And I think the only reason it got shut down, I think it got shut down because they just, like, it wasn't making Disney a lot of money, and it wasn't worth converting the whole thing to Haxe, so they just shut it down before Flash did.
Right.
And I think the reason they did it before Flash shut down was so that they could make a big publicity thing about it. Yeah, I think, again, I really think the only reason it outlasted Club Penguin is Poptropica must be, like, at least some source of income for Pearson.
Right.
Because, like, if it wasn't that much of valuable income, they would have just shut it down with Flash.
Oh, easily.
They would have just let it die.
Yeah, they've spent a lot of time.
So it's clearly making money. And, like, I'm willing to bet that kids do play it, just not as many.
Why did I include this one? The next one is just the words Epic Battle Island, then the link to a wiki page.
Joey!
Oh.
Joey Nigro answered our poll. The man himself. The man, the myth, the legend. Joey.
One of his fan islands.
Joey.
Moving on. I feel like a great deal of the issues with Poptropica right now is not so much in the game itself, but the community surrounding it. Oh? I only glanced over these, and I barely remember what I picked, so this
I haven't even seen this one.
Ever since Pelican Rock, the quality of the game has dramatically decreased, and
True.
fans have begun to step up to keep the game alive, primarily through Flashpoint Port and the Pop Dating Sim. Go play the Pop Dating Sim.
Play the Pop Dating Sim. That'll be linked below as well.
However, the community has grown into an unwelcoming, toxic place that makes it hard for both seasoned veterans and newcomers to enjoy the game and its fan base. While the community isn't entirely to blame, as the creators themselves have made many mistakes, the culmination of the two have caused the future of the game to look grim. Only if both of these aspects can be fixed do I believe there is a legitimate future for Poptropica. Although I also have hope that it can be done. I have a question for you, whoever put this. Is Poptropica the only fandom you're a part of?
I know, if they think this is toxic, like, never enter any other fandom. Like, the Poptropica fandom isn't perfect, but it is by far one of the, like, tamest fandoms I've ever been in.
I think part of the problem with the Poptropica fandom, and I say this a lot, is that we all know each other.
Yeah,
like, it's a much smaller fandom, so all it takes is, like, for one person to do something dumb before the entire fandom starts attacking them. Rather than like the Steven Universe fandom, which if I made a Dimension Bros video with a really bad Steven Universe take, some people may see it, but not
Peridot would see it. Peridot watches our videos.
But not every single member of the fandom would be commenting. There would still be other members of the fandom I could interact with. But if you make the Poptropica fandom mad, everyone is against you now.
I think the other thing about the Poptropica fandom is this is a lot of people's only fandom.
Right.
A lot of Poptropica fans don't have experience in other fandoms and don't realize how utterly blessed we are to have the Poptropica fandom. It's a cursed place, but like, trust me, Homestuck kids were dying themselves with vodka and Sharpie. Be glad for what we have. I watched Sarah Zed's video on Homestuck the other day. It's wild.
Okay, next one. I included this just because they refer to the Poptropica creators as disgusting. Honestly, the fact that they're wasting their time revamping the home island really just disgusts me. Especially how they could be using precious time porting the old islands.
Yeah. Every time home island updates, it should be a reminder that they're not porting an old island.
Every time you're like, you could have ported Twisted Thicket.
Yeah, every time you're like, you're doing this over porting like Astronites or Cryptids.
That's not Twisted Thicket. Because here's the thing, Astronites, I assume, is probably going to be the next one ported.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
If they port Astronites and do the same thing what they did in Mythology, half the fandom's leaving. Half the fandom's only there for Binary Bard.
Because here's the thing. Mythology Island was loved, but I don't think it's anyone's favorite, really.
Unless they're like a Percy Jackson person.
Right. And if it is your favorite, it's a good favorite to have.
Astronites, so many people are in the fandom just because they love Mordred and stuff. Like, Astronites is, like, I would say majority people's favorite.
It's because it's the objectively best island.
And so, like, if they just do what they did to Astronites with what they did in Mythology, I think that's going to turn a lot of people off indefinitely.
You start on the moon.
I think any island, if they do what they did to Mythology, I think it'll just be, like, confirmation that they really don't care.
I mean, you know, make Timmy Failure shorter.
Yeah. Well, Timmy Failure is already on Haxe.
Is it?
Yeah. That's one of the 5 islands. Right, so Isaac just slammed the table so hard that the Skype call disconnected.
What happened to your audio, Theo?
Did my audio just tank?
Oh, it's kind of better now.
Alright.
Yeah, there was a solid 30 seconds there where we didn't know if the video saved because the Skype call crashed.
It took a while to save, so like we're just looking at our screens after the call disconnected, being like, oh god, did we just lose 45 minutes of footage?
But we're good. You want to quickly go over the last 2, Theo?
Yeah.
I am truly hoping they bring back all the older islands untouched. Mythology Island became a cluttered mess, and I wish they'd only taken away some of the challenge of the river stakes and the final fight. Not all the other fun puzzles the island provided. Taking that away is taking away what the game was made for. Fun puzzles, solving, and exploring the world. If these things are kept in the future, and future islands, I'll be happy. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Mythology was just like them testing it or whatever to see.
Did they not change the River Styx minigame? Because that's the hard part.
I know. Like, if you're going to make anything easier, make that easier.
Right.
I feel like, I don't know, if they made Astronites easier, I could see, because Astronites is so difficult, they include a walkthrough with the island. But, like, if they shouldn't remove stuff, they should just make it easier. Like, they should just make some of the boss battles, like, turn down the AI a bit.
Don't remove stuff. Add stuff.
Add stuff to, like, maybe make it easier. Like, add maybe more, like, lines of dialogue to hint what you're supposed to do if you want to make it easier. But just don't, like, remove stuff.
Right. More than anything, I think having the old islands ported back in is what would inspire more people to play the game. And for fewer islands to move into the future. It would be ideal to create islands that are challenging and similar to the spirit of the classic islands that the fan base loves. Yeah, just give us more of the same.
Yeah, that was one of the questions on the poll is what should they be prioritizing? And, like, it was majority old islands with some people saying dream islands and stuff. But, like, one person voted home island updates on the what should Poptropica be prioritizing.
The one thing I disagree with here is I don't know how much adding old islands would bring in new players. Like, a new player isn't going to care about an island called Sharktooth Island. Obviously, we would, because...
Well, I think a new player would care about having things to do.
That's true.
I think right now, the thing about Poptropica is it's so unappealing to new players because you have to go through so much tutorial just to get access to the game, and then once you do, you find out, oh, it's 5 islands and 3 beginnings of islands.
Right.
And then it's just like, so what did I sit through all that tutorial for?
I cannot imagine, like, starting Survival Island, and then
just not doing anything else. Or Poptropicon. Poptropicon episode 1 ends with you breaking through the glass window.
That's true.
And that's just the end of it.
Fun fact, I played Survival Island as it was coming out, so I had to wait like 1 or 2 months, and those were agonizing months. Yeah, I could not imagine this, playing the first one, being like, okay, I want to play the second one.
They can't even port over all of the episodes for islands they've ported episode 1 over.
Right.
They can't even completely port islands. Like, that is so ridiculous. Like, can we just talk about that?
Yeah.
Like, they can't even port over complete all of Poptropica, Arabian Nights, and Survival. They're just going to give you the beginning for no reason. Yep. Like, clearly, if you can port over the beginning, you can port over the rest of it. What is this? Is this some suckling the teat of capitalism?
Sure, we'll go with that. Okay. Anything else you want to go over, Theo?
I think Poptropica is not adding the old islands. Are they coming?
Maybe. Go.
Poptropica is clearly not adding the old islands. So there is nothing in the game to do. It's a dead game. Like, I love Poptropica. I love the islands that are no longer there, and I love being in the fandom, and I love making videos about it, but I do not play that game.
No. Yeah, it's, I want it to be good again, but I don't know. We've given them chances. We've given constructive criticism. At this point, there's not much we can do.
So yeah, next week, stay tuned for our Fairy Tale Island review, and, don't play Poptropica. Go play the Flashpoint archive.
Theo, really quick, in this video, is Poptropica going to stay dead?
Yes! Rest in peace.